Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, Edison International, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Kern High School District, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and Valley Strong Credit Union, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
And I'm Anaya. For math homework, help call in Bakersfield 661-636-4357. Everywhere else, call 1-866-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org. We are online at dothemath.online.net and on social media.
All right, very nicely done, Anaya. So where do you go to school?
I go to school at Highgate Elementary.
Highgate Elementary. Well, there you go. You guys must be Huskies if that's what I see on your shirt right there. And what grade are you in?
I'm in 5th grade.
How is 5th grade?
Good.
Everybody says everything's good. So what's so good about you being in 5th grade right now? What do you like about 5th grade?
I like to hang out with my friends and learn new things.
All right, so you like hanging out with your friends.
Yeah.
That's good. That you've got. So have you been at Highgate for a while, or?
It's ever since it opened.
Ever since it opened. All right, good. So, because it's still a relatively new school, I think,
Yeah.
right? So obviously it's been open 5 years.
Yeah.
Since you've been there ever since it's opened, right? Okay. Did you know that you're now going to be a tutor on Do the Math?
I am?
Because usually with me, there's another adult, and they're the tutor for the day, and they help work the problems out with the students, but there's no tutor standing next to us today. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
So that means you're going to do all of the math problems. Are you good with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Sure, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. All right, so first of all, we're going to do one of the problems together. You ready? So we're going to take a look at today's social media problem of the day. So let's take a look at it up on the board right now. So can you read that problem for me?
16 plus -5 plus 8 plus -4.
Right, good. So I'm glad that you said the negatives in there because that's what those are, right? So you've got a positive and a negative next to each other. So when you look at that, how do you think you want to approach this problem? How would you like to start solving it?
I would start by doing 6 plus -5, and then I'd solve the next half of the problem and then add those together.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start going through it. All right, so tell me what you're going to do first.
So first I'll do 16 plus -5.
And what would that get?
11.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive 11.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at positive 11.
And then add 8, which equals 19.
Okay.
And then add -4, which equals 15.
Now you said we were at 19, but then you said we're going to add something, but the number went down.
Because since it's a negative, the number would go down.
Okay. So you think the answer is 15?
Yeah.
Positive 15.
Yeah.
All right. Now, before we do that, are there any other ways to do it instead of just going in order from left to right, straight across like that, do you think?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, here, let's try this. How many positive numbers are up there?
2.
And how many negative numbers are up there?
2.
All right, if we take just the positive numbers and add those up, what do we get?
24.
24, because we're taking 16 and 8.
Yeah.
Now, if we take the negative numbers and put those together, what do we get?
-9.
Negative 9.
Yeah.
So if we have 24 and negative 9, which is the same as 24 minus 9,
Yeah.
what's that?
15.
That's another way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Does that seem a little bit easier maybe?
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes kids get confused looking at all the different symbols in there and the operations. So sometimes if you just make like a score sheet, the positive numbers and the negative numbers, put them all together, add them up, and whichever number has the most, that will tell you if the answer is going to be positive or negative, and you just take the difference between those two numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look. Why do you think 33 is up there? Because 33 is up there twice as a positive and a negative.
I'm not sure. Maybe people might have added all across or not look at the negatives.
Okay, they probably may have just added them all the way
Yeah.
across, right? Because if you take 16 and 5, what do you get?
21.
Plus 8,
29.
plus 4,
33.
So that's probably why the 33 is up there,
Yeah.
right? They may have just added all of them up, and that could give you a 33. And then somebody might, why do you think it's negative 33?
They might have got thrown off because like there's negatives in the problems.
Right, they see negatives, and they're like, oh, there's a negative in there, let's make it a negative, right?
Yeah.
All right, but you're still going to go with C15 after
Yeah.
all of this?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look and see if indeed C is correct. There you go, first problem well done. That wasn't too bad, was it?
Yeah.
All right. 636-4357 is that phone number. We do have phone tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. Just a reminder, next month is the final month of live broadcasting for Do the Math during our 23rd season. Once it hits April, we are done for live broadcasts this year, but you can always catch us for reruns and new social media all of the time throughout the entire year. Time now for today's Math in the News. All right now we've got the Girl Scout Supreme people in here with us right now. We've got Emelina and Troop Leader Morgan. How are you girls today?
I'm doing good.
Nice to see you. So Emelina, you are a Girl Scout.
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been a Girl Scout?
I've been a Girl Scout for 3 years now.
Did you have to start out as a brownie and then a Girl Scout, or am I off track?
I had to start off as a brownie, and then I had to work my way up to a junior, which is a junior for fifth grade, for fourth grade, fifth grade, and sixth grade.
Okay, so maybe Morgan, you can talk a little bit about that different levels of Girl Scouts?
Yes, so there are different levels of Girl Scouts. They start off as daisies, which is like TK, kinder, first grade.
Okay, and we can see up on the board here. Okay, so
Yes.
Daisy, I forgot all about Daisy because I remember Mac used to go through this, and I forgot about the Daisy level.
Right. So then we move on to brownies, which is second and third grade, junior, fourth, and fifth. Then cadets, sixth through eighth, seniors, ninth and 10th, and ambassadors. So it does go all the way up to high
Okay,
school.
now out of those different levels, I assume there are a group of kids at every level, but is there one that's predominantly more
It really
as far as
depends.
participation goes?
Honestly, it depends on the school. It depends on, the amount of participation.
Okay.
Like right now we're pretty divided equally throughout the levels. We do have, there's a lot that come in as daisies because they're like, ooh, Girl Scouts, new things, new
Right.
elementary school, new all activities. So we started off with a lot of daisies, and most of them start off as, daisies. We've had a few that have been in the troop now for 3 years, because I've been a troop leader for 3 years. So yeah, so they start off like that, and they just keep bridging and moving up in levels, and it's cool to see how far they've come just from starting out as so little.
And obviously you enjoy being in Girl Scouts, right? Because
Yes.
you've done it for more than 1 year.
Yes, I really do enjoy being in Girl Scouts.
And one of the things that Girl Scouts are known for is the cookie sales.
Yes,
Right? That's
they
something
are.
that, so is there, because it seems like you always have an opportunity to do cookie sales, but I know it's a certain time of year
Yes.
Yes.
that you hit it. So
Yeah.
when is that? Is it like, because right now, obviously, we're sitting here talking about it.
Yes, yes, we're definitely knee deep in cookie season right now. It starts at the beginning of February. We run and do cookie sales through the end of March.
Okay.
So the last day to buy cookies is March 31st this year. They usually start around Super Bowl weekend. So that's kind of our big push, our big mega drop where we get all of our cookies and whatnot. And what a better time to start, because everybody's going to parties and
Right.
sell.
It's an easy thing to do.
Yes.
So we can see some of the different
Yes.
things up here. So, Emelina, do you have a favorite cookie?
In my opinion, I really think the peanut butter patties are really my favorite.
I like peanut butter myself also, and there's 2 different types of peanut butter cookies up there, but you like the patty more than the sandwich.
Yeah.
I'd have to go along with you on that. You got a little bit of chocolate
We like
on
the
there.
chocolate. Yeah.
Now, you are developing a lot of skills while you're doing these cookie sales, right? So
Yes,
you're
I
learning a lot of math and people skills also in
Yes.
selling things like this.
Yes, I
Are you comfortable with that? And what have you think you've learned the most from it?
What I think I've learned the most from it is like life skills. Like throughout your life, you will learn different things at different times and how you'll get there.
Exactly. So some of the strategies, Morgan, how do you help the girls with starting off, meeting people, selling the cookies, things like that?
Yes, so usually when we start out, the girls are very shy, very soft-spoken,
Right.
but usually by the time we're through our first cookie season, they're like, "Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Do you like cookies? Would you like to buy cookies?" They're very and that truly is what it teaches them. They start off very slow, but by the end of cookie season, we're ready to rock and roll, and they could sell you pretty much anything because in selling cookies, we work on, obviously, people skills,
Right.
shaking hands, smiling, speaking up, and when we do our boothing, they obviously are doing math because cookie boxes cost $6. Okay, if we sold 2, how much is that? And this is how we deal with change and dealing with money and all those things. And yeah, it's more about people skills too.
Yeah, and we saw the graphic and where the money goes to as far as the different things. Now, here's one of the things maybe you can try out, all right? So I found this little strategy works sometimes. So instead of asking somebody a yes/no question, like, would you like to buy some cookies, where they could go yes or no, maybe ask them, would you prefer to buy Thin Mints or peanut butter cookies today? See, because then if you give them an option, right, they're like, oh, I don't know, do I want Thin Mints or peanut butter? I know I'm going to want one of those, right? So they kind of are more inclined to purchase something maybe instead of just a simple yes/no. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So maybe try that sometime and see if something like that works. Like, what's your favorite cookie?
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're not going to say no.
Yeah, right.
Okay? Or what's your favorite cookie? Yes.
Yes.
You like all of them. So how about you take a box of each, right?
Right. Exactly.
We've actually had a lot of people say that, like, I like all of them, I want to buy all of them, but I know I'm on a budget and I really want to buy this one.
But you tell them, hey, you know what? How about you pick your final 3?
Yeah.
Right?
There you
Let's
go.
narrow it down, help you out a little bit right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know that we've got a photo right there of some of you guys selling Girl Scout cookies, and what we're going to do is we're going to go downstairs right now with Cece, and we're going to check out what's going on, because I do believe that they are selling some Girl Scout cookies right now in front of KCSOS.
Hello, it is cookie time! Thank you, Mike. Yes, we are downstairs and we are selling some cookies here. We've got our nice troop of Girl Scouts. They're all here ready to sell some cookies. And they were telling me all their favorite cookies earlier as well. So we got a nice rundown of all the cookies. But we have some buyers coming in. So we've got Jonathan that's going to come and buy some cookies. And what are your favorites?
I am so torn. I love the lemonades and the caramel delights. Do you think I can have two of each?
Ooh.
I would love that.
Okay, so let's do the math on that. So I see you're writing some stuff down on your pad, and you're gonna write some stuff down, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So he's saying he's gonna get 2 lemonades, and he's gonna get 2 of the
Caramel delights.
caramel delights. So how many boxes total is that?
8.
2 of the lemonades. So go ahead and pull those for him, 1 and 2. And 2 of the caramel delights. So that's another 1. Let's see, our caramel delights are right here, so we're gonna grab 1 and 2 of those. So we've got 2 lemonades plus 2 caramel delights. So this is, oh, she got it right here. Yeah, that's right. We've got a total of 4 boxes that he's buying, right? So we've got a total of 4 boxes. Now, who's really good at multiplying by 6s? Because I know that your boxes are $6 each. Okay, so we got somebody saying they're gonna be, what's your name? Autumn. Okay, so she says she's really good at multiplying by 6s. So we've got 4 boxes and they're $6 each. So $24. Nicely done. Okay, so we knew that it was 4. I'm going to multiply by that 6, and that's our unit price. Do you guys know what a unit price is? What does that mean to be a unit, to have a unit price? What is 1 unit when you're talking about these?
1 cookie.
Is 1 cookie, or is it 1 box of cookies?
1 box.
1 box of cookies, right. So a unit price is 1 box. So we knew that that was 6, so we said 24. Okay, so he owes you $24. And he's gonna pay with how much money?
I have $40.
Uh-oh, what are we gonna have to do now?
We're going to have to split it.
We're gonna have to make some change. Okay, how do we do that? If we know that he owes us $24, or he owes you $24, and he's gonna give you 40, what do we do?
40 minus 24.
40 minus 24, that's perfect. Do you want the board in order to figure out how much it's gonna be, or can you figure it out all in your head?
I can figure it out.
Oh, she's gonna figure it out in her head. How about any of you guys, do you know? Can we do it in our heads, or would we need to do it on the board? But you know how you can subtract?
I got that.
You could do it? Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to ask you what it is, and then we're going to do the math real quick. So go ahead. You tell me what you think it is.
16.
16. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and we're going to subtract. We know that we cannot take 4 away from that 0, so we're going to go ahead and we say we're going to bar, right? 10 minus 4 is? Everybody together, 10 minus 4 is? 6. Nice. And then 3 minus 2 is? 1. And that's how we get our $16 that we need to make change. So we're going to go to our green envelope and we're going to get $16 out and we're going to go ahead and get him some change. And while you do that, I am going to point out, if we could just point out, we've got brothers of our Girl Scouts and they are the cookie security. We got to love our cookie security and love on them just a little bit because without cookie security, I might eat all of these cookies. Every single last one of these cookies would be mine if you did not have that cookie security here. Okay, I think we've got one more customer coming. And this is John. Everybody say hi, John.
Hi, hello there, how are you?
Without him, no, none of the schools here would run. He's kind of responsible for everything, so you can be impressed.
Yeah, cookies are my favorite.
Uh-oh.
I think I want 1 lemon. I'm going to do it in 3s. I'm going to make it a little different.
Ooh, okay, so we've got 1 lemonade
One
going
lemon.
in. Okay, so what are we going to do?
1 Thin Mint. And I'll do another Thin Mint. Yes, they are.
So how many did he end up getting? He said 1 lemonade, 1 Thin Mint, and then he changed his mind and said, I want 1 more. How many we get? 3. Nice. Okay, so there's 3 total that he just bought. Okay, let's multiply by 6. Do we know? What is it? 18. Nice. Times 6. That's our unit price. Gives us a total of $18 that he's going to now owe you. So let's see what's going to happen now.
I have less than 40, so you don't have to worry, you don't have to subtract as high. Here's 20.
Oh, 20. Okay, can you guys figure it out? 20. We're going to go ahead and figure out 18, like he owed you 18. How much do you owe him back? If it started with 18, let's count it out. 18, 19, 20. So you owe him back $2 in change. And we'll get that back 1 and 2.
Wonderful. Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and support our local Girl Scouts when you see them out and about and buy yourself some cookies. $6 a box.
All right, thanks for that, Cece. Nice to see everybody is active and buying cookies downstairs. So one of the things that you girls benefit is being able to go on different field trips with some of the proceeds from the money. We can see that you guys had an opportunity to go to Windwolves.
Yes, they, the Girl Scout office puts together these badge earning trips or classes or whatever, and we were able to go to the Windwolf Preserve and they got a park patch, like a community park patch for our hiking and all of that, and it was really beautiful.
Yeah, it is very nice out there. So Emelina, before I let you go, is there a patch that you're working towards next?
A patch I'm really working towards next is that last year I sold 500 packages of cookies.
What?
And I earned a badge for it, and now my goal this year is to sell 600 packages of cookies.
That's an awful lot of cookies right there. Where are you at so far?
I think her numbers, we just did them, we're about halfway there. We're almost at 400 just packages
So
for her.
I don't think those guys bought all the cookies downstairs, did they?
no.
So how
Got a
about,
lot.
am I able to buy some cookies?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, of course.
We got kind of deal up here?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure, we got it.
Oh,
Well,
so
what can we
it's-
get you? What's your favorite cookie?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, you know, I like chocolate, I like peanut butter, I like shortbread, I like a lot of different things. I know those guys were hot and heavy on the lemonade, but I'll let those guys keep the lemonade. But, so I know it's $6 a box. Are we going to go 2 for $10? I like how you were hesitant,
That
right?
might
You go,
not
no,
work.
it's $6 a box. I just wanted to see if you'd bite on
That
something
might
like
not
that.
work.
So if I want 2 boxes, what do you need?
If you want 2 boxes, it is, so 6 times 2 equals 12. So if you want 2 boxes of cookies, you have
Will
to
that
pay us
cover it?
12.
See if I've got enough there.
Alrighty. 5, 12. Yep. You
12
got
bucks?
it.
All right, good. So here's what I'm going to trust you to go downstairs and find 2 good boxes of cookies for me and bring them back up, all right?
All right, you got
A
it.
deal?
Yeah, that's
All
a deal.
right, thank you very much. Morgan,
You're
thank you for
welcome.
coming
Thank
in.
you so much.
Emelina, I hope you continue with Girl Scouts. I know it's a great thing to be involved in. A lot of skills you're going to acquire during the years, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, my name is Kabir, and today I'll be talking about how to find slope. So to start off with, there are 2 ways to find slope. 1, you can use a graph, and 2, you can use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we can use this by taking 2 points. So I'll just use 1, 1 and 2, 5. So we have 1, 1 and 2, 5. So we'd use the second y coordinate, which would be 5. So 5 minus the y coordinate of the first one, coordinate. So 5 minus 1 over x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is 1. And then we can solve it for 4 over 1. And then we can the second way we can do this is we can plot the points. So I already have them plotted down. We have 1, 1 and 2, 5. So 1, 1 and 2, 5. So with slope, you want to do the way you do it is rise over run. So if you put rise over run, so we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right 1, which is equal to up 4 and right 1. So we have, and then that gives us our slope of 4. And that's just a little bit about slope.
Always great to hear about slope, especially on Let's Talk Math, and some of our younger experts right there. One of our younger experts is Anaya, a 5th grade student from Highgate Elementary. Now, you did one problem. You saw the old man purchase some cookies and get some of that. You ready to go to work? All right, over to the board. So this is an expression to get you ready for solving equations. So you and Cece are going to work on this. You explain to Cece how you think you would like to start it and anything you think you can go ahead and do with it.
Go for it. So grab your pen and let's get started. What are we going to do first?
First, I'm going to solve the parentheses.
Okay, good. Yeah, so we jump into our parentheses first. Fabulous.
7 and 3.
Okay, so now what?
And then we're going to add numbers, and since it's next to each other, that means we're going to multiply that.
Good.
And then we're going to bring the multiplication minus sign down, and then we're going to add the square.
Good. Okay, so that 2 that's up above the 3, what is that called?
Squared.
What? So you're squaring it, right? 3 squared. That's our exponent, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's 2 is our exponent, and what does that mean? What do we do with that?
I'm pretty sure you have to add 2 zeros.
So this means if I am squaring something, it's telling me how many times I'm going to multiply it to itself. So I'm going to take 3 and I'm going to multiply it to itself twice. So 3 times 3 gives me
9.
There we go. So we know that that is
9.
Perfect. And our next step is going to be?
Multiply the 2 and
Fantastic, which is going to give us?
14.
Nice.
And
then?
9.
Which is going to equal?
5.
Fantastic. I like it.
There you go, easy enough. That's just a simple sort of an expression right there. You'll get into more complicated expressions as you go through 5th grade, and then when you hit 6th grade, you're going to start doing equations where you'll have variables involved with those also. Sound good? Well, good. I'm glad you're up for that, because maybe we'll do one a little bit later on. We'll be back with more. Oh, you know what? Because you started getting into expressions and you did that one perfectly without any problems, you've got yourself a pass to go to CALM. So hopefully you have an opportunity to go out there, see some of the animals. The weather's turning beautiful right now, and hopefully you have an opportunity to do that soon. We'll be back with more right after this.
So if you step back in time, thousands of years ago, people knew about the brightest planets pretty much everywhere. These are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And pretty much every culture knew about these 5 planets, which they could easily see up in the sky. They had different names for them, names that we use now in English. These come from the Roman names. And that's because the early astronomers in Europe wrote in Latin, and Latin was the language of the Roman Empire, so we ended up with these Roman names after the Roman gods: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. If we keep on going outward, we have 3 more things that historically have been called planets. You have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. These are Greek or Roman names. These planets weren't seen by the Greeks or Romans, but because the discoverers wanted their planets to fit in with the existing theme of the mythology of the existing planets. And all these are totally different than the inner planets because these were discovered more recently. They're fainter and they move more slowly. You can't see them with your naked eye. You have to use a telescope, and that's how they were discovered. But since then, as telescopes have gotten bigger and bigger, and astronomers keep finding smaller and smaller things in the solar system, and we discovered some things that are just a couple of meters across, like literally the size of a person. And we've discovered thousands of Kuiper Belt objects, which are more or less like Pluto, a little smaller, a little further away, but the same basic idea. Some people still call it a planet, but oftentimes it's called a dwarf planet. That's what the International Astronomical Union says, because they're a group responsible for naming things. The issue with Pluto is you're trying to define a fuzzy line between a planet and not a planet, and it boils down to size. So there's so much more in the solar system to name. There's moons, asteroids, comets, rings, Kuiper Belt objects, craters. Because we're humans, we want to name these things. It gives us a connection to the huge universe around us. Thousands of years from now, people are still going to be naming planets as we continue to explore the world around us.
And welcome back. Right now, we've got Derrick from Valley Strong Credit Union in studio with us. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm excellent. Nice to see you again. But
Thank
for
you
those
very
that
much
have
for
not
having
seen
me.
you the other numerous times, what is your role with the credit?
I am a branch manager at the credit union. I currently manage the branch on Stockdale and Heath.
So the relatively new one.
Yes.
Is that the newest one in town?
It is the newest one in town. If you take the Parkway where it ends and then go one more light.
Okay.
We're next to Doors. That's our probably most popular place that's there.
Well, yeah, who's not going to be digging on the ice cream and stuff
Yeah,
like
exactly,
that, right? And the
exactly.
candies and all that kind of stuff, right? So you guys chose a spot where you could go for snacks during the day? And
We got everything you can want in that shopping center. Just come out and see us.
all right, good. So today we're going to be talking about financial literacy aimed towards younger
Yes.
people that can be enrolled in the credit union.
Yes. And in
Okay.
fact, it's perfect segue from the Girl Scouts that were here earlier. They're talking here. I heard her count money. I heard you trying to haggle with her. Kudos.
Hey, you know, just simply offering a deal.
Hey,
you know what I
you
mean?
know.
You just want to see if the kid wants to take it or not. You know, if you got to sell a quantity, sometimes that's.
But she didn't, and she knew exactly
Right,
how
so
much
she-
it was
yeah.
per box, that she knew how to add it up.
And I'm glad she refused the offer.
So we do. I'm here to talk about financial literacy for our youngsters here in town. We offer a couple different accounts for our kids. So we start off as young as 0 through 12, and that is for our Rocky account. It's been around forever, Rocky Raccoon account. One of the cool things that the kids can do is when they have those accounts, when they come in, they get a deposit, they get a little, we would call them wooden nickel when I was a kid,
Right.
but it is
Like tokens.
still a wooden token.
And it's still wooden.
Still wooden. Yes, still wooden. I got to check sometimes. So if they get enough of these, 25 of these deposits, then they get themselves a nice little plushie.
So it doesn't matter the dollar amount. As long as you go to the credit union and you make a deposit,
Yes.
you get a token.
Now, if you were a kid, I would assume that you'd try to do the, I've got 25 pennies and I'd like to make separate deposits type of thing. No, not that, but
Okay.
yes, they're making their deposits. Once they make the 25, they can come in and get the plushie. It's one of our funnest accounts, at least for the employees, because when you see the little kid who's 3 or 4 coming in with that change
And
that
they-
or the
right.
piggy bank, they get to watch.
Because
the-
they've been saving that for a while.
Yes.
And
They get to watch it run through the coin machine. They love it. It's a good time for us.
Right.
With those accounts, they get to learn some financial literacy. They get to learn how to save, and they get to, how much money's in my account. Parents can also have that on their online banking, so they can monitor it. They can show the kid what's in their account.
okay.
Once they're a little bit older, they can go to a Grow Strong account, which starts at 13. That's for our teenagers. Those you can get a debit card with, which is probably our most popular debit cards because they're white, green, and black.
Okay. And different levels that can be put on that? Is that what that is?
They do have a limit, but it's a lower limit because it's a learning account.
Okay.
Parents are, it's mandatory you need to have an adult that's on the account, parent or guardian.
Okay.
But they get to learn how to spend. They get to learn how to budget. Because if there's no money on that card.
Yeah, that's a big thing for kids.
It is. My kids included, we've done that before. But they get to learn about that account, learn about some financial literacy.
And I know for educators out there, you've got Zogo.
We do. We have Zogo. So Zogo is going to be an app that you can get through. You can go on, download the app. For today, because I'm on the show, if you put in Do the Math, they're not going to charge you anything for the app. You go on there, you play games. When you play the games, you earn pineapple coins.
Right.
You can actually trade those pineapple coins in, though, for real life gift cards. So in my parking lot, right across my driveway, is a Starbucks. You can trade those pineapple coins in for Starbucks gift cards.
So we're going to leave that up there for a second in case
You can
there
leave
are
it
any
up there.
students or kids.
Yes.
So they can just scan that QR code right there, enter the access code, do the math. Therefore, they won't have to pay for it. But they can go ahead and they can do those games, earn those pineapple credits, and then use those towards gift cards at a variety of places.
Yes. Yeah, and it's fun. The kids like playing it, and they call them modules. They're games. But it teaches them financial literacy, budgeting, all different types of things, but in a gamified type of way.
Okay, and you have a financial literacy day coming up.
We do. This is very fun. So it's called, it's Financial Literacy Day. We're doing Bite of Reality. Bite of Reality is something we go to the high schools and we teach them about real life. So the kids get assigned a job, if they have a spouse or not, if they have a kid or not, and they have to go around and they have to purchase housing. They have to purchase transportation. They have to purchase all these things.
So it's
and
a simulation that they're going to be facing quickly.
And if you get to do it on our end, you get to sell them on the highest priced item without remorse because you want to put them over budget. And then they have to go talk to the credit union and talk about that budget and learn from their mistake on maybe I didn't need the Ferrari that Derrick sold
right away.
Right away, yes. Yeah, I've sold many Ferraris. It's very fun to sell.
But you know, it's flashy and like, hey, let me get that. I can get it now.
I convince them they can fit a car seat in that thing all day long. But yeah, financial literacy come out. It's at our admin building, which is on Bolt House Drive, right across from Houchin.
Okay.
Everybody's bring the kids. It's not a sign-up thing. Show up. You download the app. You can participate.
All right.
It's a great thing.
And I know that one more thing that you've got going on, and that is if somebody mentions Do the Math, when they go in to open an account, you guys will give them their first $5 to open that account.
Yes, we will. It is financial literacy for the credit union is very important. That's why we've sponsored this show for so long. It's why we're out in the community all the time. The more intelligent our children are about financial decisions, the better off they will be, which means the better off the community will be, and in turn us. So it's a win-win for everybody. Come into any branch, Kern County, tell them you saw Do the Math. They will then fund you the $5 for your Grow Strong or Rocky account.
Yeah, and see, and that's a pretty easy thing. I mean, because a student that is, it seems pretty interesting. I might want to start this. And even for adults, they're like, hey, you know what? We've got a little one. Let's go ahead and start this for them. Hey, you know what? We saw a thing on Do the Math. We saw Derrick. They said you give us $5 to start it. Let's go ahead and start it right now.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a lifelong learning experience for them. The sooner you can get them teaching about financial skills, the better off they're going to be in life.
All right, so quickly, some of the items you brought in here.
Okay, so we went over Rocky plushie. My daughter is a super plushie lover. It's approved by her. She doesn't have a certification or anything. Our Grow Strong accounts, I don't know why, but the socks are the most popular thing that kids love. They also come with croc gibbets, which these things have gone missing. I won't say, I got it? Yeah, nice and tight on those. They love these things as well. For our other kids' accounts, we have stickers, we have coloring books. They get a fun little kit to make it fun for them.
So they get an assortment of things based on whatever age. You've got something for everybody.
Yes, I won't say that I've had some of the Grow Strong ones go, can I have the stickers and the coloring book too? Yeah.
All right, well, Derrick, we certainly do appreciate your sponsorship of the show for many years, and for coming in and sharing financial literacy a lot. During the season, every single season, you guys have been kind enough to come in and talk with us about
Absolutely,
these different things.
anytime.
And that's nice to do when give them the $5 to get going on that thing too.
Hey, whatever starts them off good.
You know what? And hopefully you get 100 people going, hey, do the math. We saw it.
They'll walk in with their drawers. They'll be good to go.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we'll be back with more right after this.
Biomedical engineers develop technologies that help improve the quality of people's health or their ability to manage disabilities, and may even save their lives. The field combines biology and medicine with engineering and mechanics, a combination that leads to amazing results. Imaging systems that allow doctors to see inside a patient's organs, artificial limbs, organs, and joints lasers for surgery, devices that automate insulin injections, and computer simulations to test new drug therapies. Biomedical engineers designed all of these and also keep them running. Making sure their designs operate safely and correctly is a large part of their job. These engineers can expect to spend many hours, even years, on a specific project in a cycle of researching, developing, testing, and trying again. Among the qualities needed are patience, problem solving, and the ability to handle complex calculations. Most jobs are found in research laboratories, hospitals, and manufacturing. To enter the field, you will need a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering or bioengineering. Some people enter the field with a bachelor's degree in another field of engineering coupled with biological science electives, or they earn a graduate degree in biomedical engineering. Whatever their path to the profession, biomedical engineers share a passion for making a patient's life longer and easier.
And back in studio, we've got Anaya and Cece. Cece all full of cookies. I'm sure like the Cookie Monster downstairs before.
Hey, I was ready for cookies, for sure.
Who's never not ready for
That's
cookies?
right.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we're always ready for cookies. Always ready for ice cream, Chick-fil-A, all that good
All
stuff,
of it.
right? Well, lovely
Let's do
diet we
it.
got going, right? Ice cream, cookies, and stuff like that.
Hungry.
So, do you have a favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip.
Yeah, chocolate chip. There you go. That's not a bad one right there. Do you like them soft, or it doesn't have to be soft?
Soft. I like soft.
You like soft?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, good. Well, how do you like that expression that you did before? Did you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you remember what I said comes after expressions?
Variable added to
There's
it.
going to be variables, and then you're going to go into an equation. So we're going to start you off with one right now. How's that sound?
Okay.
Yeah, you're like thrilled. All right, get on over to the board, and we're going to go into do one.
All right, go ahead and give it to us.
All right, so I know that Anaya loves the negative things, so we're going to go negative x minus 2 equals 6 plus x.
Oh, okay, all right. How do we feel about this?
Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'm going to let you go. You do your thing, and we'll see what happens. So tell me all about it. What are we going to do first?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so I have x's on this side of my equation, and remember, when we have an equal sign, right, we're saying these need to be balanced. We need to keep it balanced, right? Okay, so you knew that. All right. So I have x's on this side. I have x's on this side. I need to get them all onto one side. Which way would you like to go with them? Kind of doesn't matter.
This side.
You want to go to this side? Yeah. Okay, so if I have a positive 1x, how am I going to get that to 0? What am I going to do?
What do you mean by like?
So if I have a positive x and I need to kind of get, we can say we need to kind of get rid of it on this side, right? I need to get it to 0. I need it to go away from this side. You said we're going to get rid of it on this side, and we need to do what? If it's positive x, what's going to negate a positive x?
Negative.
A negative x. So we're going to subtract an x on this side. So go ahead and we're going to say minus x just right underneath it. Now, what we do to one side of an equation, in order to keep it balanced, we have to do
To the other.
fabulous. So let's do minus x on this side. Okay, so I have a negative 1x and another negative 1x. How many x's do I have?
2.
Negative 2, perfect. Okay, so negative 2, x, and then we're going to keep our minus 2. So go ahead and bring that minus 2 down, and then we've got our equal sign. Yep, perfect. Okay, and then I still have my 6. I haven't done anything with that. But I did do my positive x minus x, so we know that that is 0. So this is just equal to 6, right? So that's that. We're done now. Okay, so our goal is what? What is our goal here now?
To make this side equal to 6.
Okay, well, you're right. I need to figure out what number for x is going to give me 6. Do you think you could figure it out?
Yeah.
How would you figure that out?
So first I'd figure out what 2 times what equals 8.
Wait. Why did you know it needed to equal 8?
Because 8 minus 2 equals 6.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to show you something. Because I need to undo my negative 2, I'm going to add 2 to both sides, right? Negative 2 plus 2. Now I can show it exactly what you just said. I can show it just like that. Okay, so now tell me what's next.
Now you're gonna multiply -2. Add -2 to 8. Oh, wait.
Okay, so my question to you is this -2 and the x, are they added together, subtracted together, multiplied? They're multiplied, good. I can go ahead and I can say, okay, we know that they're multiplied. So -2 times what is gonna give me 8?
-4.
-4, so you knew it's -4
Yeah.
without doing anything else. Can I show you how we can show it, all our steps?
Yeah.
Okay, have you done this before?
No.
No, okay. What is the kind of opposite operation from multiplication? What undoes multiplication?
Division.
Division. So if I divide, go ahead and show me division. So just put the fraction bar underneath. Yep. What am I going to divide by in order to get my x by itself or to get 1x?
2.
-2 divided by -2 gives me +1, correct? Okay, let's do it to the same thing to this side because what we do to one side we have to do to the other. Okay, what did you tell me? -2 divided by -2 is?
0. 1.
Is +1, so I have a +1x, so I'm going to have x is equal to?
6.
No. So don't think about it as subtraction. It's division, just like you said before. And so my answer is?
4.
-4. So x is equal to -4. Exactly right. So a lot of what you were able to do in your head, this is just how we would show it, because ultimately when they get harder and harder and harder, which I have a feeling Mr. Mike might give us, as we get harder and harder, we have to be able to show it, otherwise we might start confusing ourselves. But this is how we show it, but you got it right.
Right, and that's kind of a difficult first one to do, right? Because you've got the negatives to deal with. You only had 2 things on each side, but trying to manipulate those and know exactly why you're doing it, and what you figured out is like that balance, that's the most important thing you want to keep in mind right there, right? And I saw you guys were working, and Cece's like, yeah, you've already got the answer of -4, but the process of how to go through that when you have more difficult numbers, that's the key thing, all right? So maybe we will do another one of those later on. Maybe we won't. We'll see how everything goes, all right? But we'll be back with more right after this.
I grew up in Oakland, just me, my parents, my sister, my cousins. We didn't have cable. We would always have PBS on. There was of course, Bill Nye, right? That's the OG science show. I was 19 years old, and I knew some people who were hairstylists already, so I was like, let me give that a try. And I was at the salon 9 years. Getting my degree was always something that I wanted. I was just I wondered if I could.
Have you learned how to graph linear functions in class? Yep. I'm really passionate about my education, and I'm afraid to let my parents down because my parents sacrificed everything. My dad always tells us if we don't want to have a job like his job where he has to do hard labor, we really need to have an education in order to get an office job. I don't like that he puts himself down to bring us up. His job is an honest job. And since they didn't go to school, they didn't have a chance to go to school, I kind of want to do that for them.
Both my parents didn't go to college. I didn't recognize the value of that until much later, until now, in fact. My father works in apparel. My mom ran boutiques, taught me what work ethic meant. I have fond memories of my father and mom working till 2 a.m., counting how much cloth they had in the storage.
I specifically listen to Christian music only in the morning. I make sure to start off my day like that. I wake up right out my bed. Every step I get in, I say, God taught me, and I'll make up my bed, and then I wash my face. From what I do remember at 3 years old, very vividly, a fight broke out with my mom and dad, and I remember my sister picking me up, carrying me upstairs. She was 5 years old at the time. She called 911. I remember I was in the back seat of a police car with my sister. We were at McDonald's, going to the foster care facility. I believe and I trust that it was all in God's will, and for sure it definitely grew me into who I am today. I chose to go to Cal State East Bay, first off because it was the most affordable choice. And on top of that, it was a lot closer to home.
The fact that it was close to home and it was smaller kind of gave me comfort.
I feel like East Bay is super diverse.
But it has that idea of having that private community.
I've definitely enjoyed that the most, that the students really actually try to interact with you.
Our physics department here is really small, but I think that's exactly what I needed.
Faculty and staff is really supportive here. They really do care about your education. I'm also thankful for my professors. I'm thankful for Dr. Borja, who's been really supportive and has always believed in me.
I remember I walked into class one day this semester, and my professor, he was like, "Hey, Wolfgang, right?" He was like, "You work at Apple, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I interned at Apple," and then I was like, "Oh, that was pretty cool." He already knew who I was, and I didn't even know his name yet, you know.
CSU Space accounting program is effective. It got me into a Big Four at KPMG. Things that I did while I was at CSU East Bay, I was part of the board of directors of the student government. They are a mirror image of what I do today. When we sold to the Gap and they accepted me to become the CFO of the company, that again communicated the confidence to myself that I can do anything.
Coming into physics was like the first time in my life where there's lack of representation for me. So I was like, maybe I'll teach, and just being like a Black woman in physics.
I just want to change kind of the normal for my family and kind of what we're used to. I don't want them to feel like they're stuck in this box.
School is something I'm really passionate about because I really like to learn and grow myself. I feel like if I were to stop my education, I wouldn't really get to where I want to go. So I was like, doctor or researcher?
I have 2 young daughters, and I hope that they will also go to college one day and have that same experience, because I thoroughly enjoyed mine.
Emphasis always magnificence, so generous, always be giving it 100%. A fake dude, nemesis, it's the real deal. Let me show you what the business is. Watch I flip it like Gabby, scholarly intellect, street corner savvy. Came from the far side, still can't pass me. Shell front, Exxon can't outgas me. And we about to raise the bar up, wake these dudes up like 2 cups of Starbucks. But really it ain't no competition. You the flies dude out, it ain't no opposition. So optimistic, billionaire.
All right, so Anaya, you did well with the expressions. You did pretty well with the first equation you've ever done in your life, because once you start doing expressions, hopefully you'll do them towards the end of 5th grade. If not, you will do them in 6th grade. And then you will do some equations in 6th grade, because I know you're part of a program where you do some accelerated things. So that's where you're going to be doing those things. And guess how many equations you're going to do?
A bunch.
A bunch. And you're going to do them in 6th, 7th, 8th, and some in high school also. How many do you think you'll do between 6th, 7th, and 8th grade alone?
Like over 100 maybe?
Over 100? I would say over 100 a month. Okay, so you're gonna do a bunch of them. So you did pretty well with that first one. But just kind of remember what you and Cece did, and it'll help you out as you keep going along. And always remember, ask questions if you're stuck also, all right? You ready to play a little game?
Sure.
All you have to do with this one is add. All right, so head on over to the board, and Anaya, you can select puzzle 3 or puzzle 4, even though you don't know what to do yet.
Puzzle 4.
Puzzle 4.
Oh, you
all
picked
right.
the one with all the 2s.
So,
That makes me
Cece, you're
nervous.
all ready to draw on that. It's all set up for
Okay,
you.
okay.
So we're looking only at puzzle 4.
Okay.
So each row
Yep.
and each column
Yep.
must add to 30. The diagonals we are not worrying about.
Okay.
Okay? So obviously you have a 1, 2, and a 5 up the top. So you're going to have to add digits either to the 1, the 2, or the 5.
So we're making it like 11 or 12 or 15.
Right, or you can make it
51 or
22.
25. Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I'll give you a hint. You're going to add 3 different numbers. You're going to add a digit to each row.
Okay.
And in the first, I'll let you start there.
And it has to add to what?
Every row and column must add to 30.
Okay, so we need
But the diagonals do not matter.
All right, so we're trying to make that equal 30. And it's just addition only.
Only addition.
Okay, fantastic. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna follow you. Let's start on that first row.
So I think we should add a 4 right here.
Okay, so 24. Okay, so 24, because then we've got 1 plus 24 plus 5, and that's going to give us 30.
30, yeah.
Okay, so that's a good start. Now he did tell us that we might have to add some other things to that, but that's a good start. Maybe we'll just go ahead and start with that and see where we go with it. Okay. So then what's going to happen now? Do we want to do one of the columns, or do we want to just do our rows first?
But I already know that this one is already equals 30 because 24.
Ooh, magic. Okay, so that one's already 30. Okay, I like that. So as long as we don't mess with anything here, we're good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens next.
Okay, so now I think we should do that.
Okay, so let's do our middle row. Okay, so we said we couldn't do anything with the 4. So if we know we need to add to 30 and it's got a 4 that we're not going to mess with, it needs to add to what?
30.
So this one and this one. So these are the only ones we can mess around with. So
you can put numbers in front or in back.
Yeah, but we know that we can't move the 4 because we said that's done. So my 4, so we need this and this to be 26, right? So that the whole thing equals 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so how are we going to make those 26?
We can add a 3 right here.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let me get rid of that. Okay, so if we add it, so go ahead and add a 3 right there. I like that. Okay, so 3 plus 4, that's 7. 20, we're good. All right, check. All right, fantastic. That's good.
And then this one equals 30.
So it already equals 30. Oh my gosh, this is so good. All right, so now that we've done this is the only one we can change, and we need it to equal 30 this way, and we need it to equal 30 this way. I'm a little worried. Should I be worried?
Maybe we can add a 6.
Okay, go ahead. All right, 1 plus 3 plus 26 gives us 30. 26 plus 2 plus 2 gives us 30. You're amazing.
Nicely done, Anaya. You did so well, I'm going to give you a bonus problem. You're going to do puzzle number 3.
Oh, my goodness.
The same exact thing. They must all add up to 30.
Okay,
You're amazing. And here, because we are cut down on a little bit of time, but you're so good at these, I'm going to let you know that each of the 2s are what you're going to change. Okay. And 2 of them are going to be the exact same number.
Okay, so we're going to fly through this. We know we're
changing. So you're only going to mess with the 2s, and 2 of them will be the same number.
Okay, what are we going to do? So if we start at the top, if the only thing we're changing is the 2, what are we going to have to change the 2 to?
26.
26, okay, go ahead and throw that 6 up there. So 1 plus 26 plus 30, or excuse me, plus 3, gives us our 30. Okay, next.
So this one equals, this middle row equals 30.
Oh, it already does, you're right, good job. Okay, perfect, okay. Next.
Okay, we'll do this row.
I like it.
It could be 20.
It could be 20, so we're going to throw a 0 on the back end of that. I like it. Okay, 9 plus 1 plus 20 does give us our 30. Okay, fantastic. So what else do we already know?
This one equals 30.
Yeah, 3 plus 20 plus 7. There's 30 right there. Fantastic. Okay, next.
And then this one's going to be 20.
And that one's going to be 20. 1 plus 9 plus 20 gives us our 30. And let's just check this one too. 20 plus 3 plus 7
30
gives us our 30. She's good.
Indeed, indeed. That's why I knew she would do well with these, and that's why we put 2 of them up there, just in case she did master one really quickly. Right. So Anaya, nicely done. Come on over here. So did you know that you are now an ambassador for Do the Math?
No, I'm not.
Well, you are. You are now an ambassador for Do the Math. Do you know what that means?
No.
That means you have to let other people know about Do the Math. So if somebody, because we gave you a shirt, correct? And you're going to wear that shirt, right? And people are going to go, hey, Anaya, what's up with that shirt? Do the Math, what is that? What do you think you would tell them about Do the Math?
It's a live TV show where you just do math and it'll help you learn different things that you don't know.
There you go. So it's a live TV show, right? Where you get to do math and you learn things and it helps you out with things, right? So what kind of things did you learn today that you think we've helped you out with?
I've learned how to do equations because I've never learned them, and I think I learned something new today.
Yeah, so you did it in an equation today, right? You've never done that before, right? So the expression, when you did that one before, the equation, had you ever done anything like that yet?
Maybe in GATE we have, but I don't think in my...
Yeah, maybe in your GATE class, right? Yeah. You probably have done some expressions and things like that, and those things will get a little bit more difficult as you go along. Now, as far as the expressions go, there's a way that will help you with expressions. Have you ever heard of the order of operations?
Yeah.
And what can you tell us about that?
It it's like an order that helps you go and to solve the problem. And if you don't follow that order, then you won't come up with the right answer.
Exactly. So can you tell us what that order might be? Like, do you remember any of the things you have to do in the order that they go in?
Like PEMDAS.
Okay, so a lot of students say PEMDAS. And what does that mean for students that have never heard that
So
before?
it's parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction.
Okay. And there's one thing that when you get a little bit older, probably next year, I'm just sure that your teacher's going to inform you that it's not only parentheses, but it's grouping.
Yeah, that's what we did in GATE.
Okay, good. So you've heard that, right? So instead of parentheses, you could have brackets, you could have absolute value, right? So there's a lot of different things where you could group things first, but that's what you want to do first, right? And how comfortable are you with the exponents?
Yeah, I'm pretty good with that.
You're pretty good with that? Yeah. Do you know what the opposite of squaring something is? Like if we have 3 squared, that means 9,
yeah,
right? Instead of 3 times 2, it's 3 times 3, right? So do you know what the opposite of raising something to a power is? Like instead of squaring something?
Subtracting?
Kind of, but it's like you want to find the square root of something. So if I wanted to find the square root of 9, that means what number times itself will equal 9?
3.
So the square root of 9 is 3. So what's the square root of 16?
8. Wait.
You got this. What times itself is 16?
Because you were thinking times 2,
Yep,
right?
but it's itself
So
times
remember,
itself.
9 was 3 times 3.
Oh, 4.
There you go. So you knew it, right? Okay. So here's another one for you. All right, you ready? You want to try one more?
Yeah.
All right. What is 5 squared?
25.
All right, so what's the square root of 36?
6.
So you're on it, all right? So you know, so that's going to help you as you go through expressions and then into equations, all right? So also, as an ambassador, you also get one of these. You know what that is?
Rubik's Cube?
Are you a master of that?
No.
Have you ever tried one of those?
Yeah, one time.
One time and you were like, I don't want any more of this? That's a little bit more than I was like half, and I'm like, you know what, I don't know. It was all messed up and I couldn't get it. But hopefully you have an opportunity, you want to try it again, because this is an exclusive Do the Math Rubik's Cube, all right? So for being an ambassador, you have one of those. Now, we know that we had the Girl Scouts on a little bit earlier, right? And you said that you really like the soft chocolate chip cookies. And I don't know if they have those. They might have them down there because they've always got a bunch of different flavors. But the old man was feeling hungry, and when they were up here, I decided to get some Thin Mints, right? It's a pretty popular cookie. And you've never had a Thin Mint, have you?
No.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. And I know Cece's fond of the Thin Mints also.
They're darn good.
They're darn good.
They are darn good.
You know what, I'll tell you what they are. They're fine. Mighty fine. Mighty fine, there you are.
Yeah, they are.
So, all right, so we're going to let you grab that first Thin Mint right there. Cece, you want a Thin Mint?
Oh, heck yeah, I do.
And you know the old man's going to grab a Thin Mint. We'll let everybody else
You just smell 'em.
here in the studio grab a Thin Mint in a minute.
Yummy.
But go ahead and take that first bite and let us know what you think about that.
It's actually really good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Pretty good, huh? Kind of a little crunch, right? And you're addicted to these, right? Is that what I've understood? Yeah, see, you got that whole thing in your mouth right now. Yeah, that's you at the right
Yeah, I
time.
do.
There you go.
Throw them in the freezer.
Oh, so throw it in the freezer, right? And then, so that way you can save them for later in the year?
No.
Oh, just because you like them
them
cold. Oh, okay. So instead of just eating Thin Mints like that, do you do anything different with them other than freeze them? Do you mix them with anything? Do anything different?
I mean,
You just-
don't get me wrong. You could make a great milkshake. You could do a lot of good stuff with it. But no, just straight
Okay.
out of the freezer. Just pop
So
them.
you like that Thin Mint? Good. So you learned a little something today? Did you have fun today?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing right there. Hey, until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, Edison International, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Kern High School District, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and Valley Strong Credit Union, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.